let's go ahead and look at the game here. So there's instructions. You choose the number of players. You click the chests to unlock them. You click the unlock chest to load the treasure onto your ship. You can steal treasure from enemies if they've unlocked it already. If you have an extra sword, you can re-roll dice once. Whatever you haven't used, you pass your turn when you're done. The game ends after the last chest is unlocked. Everyone gets one more turn after that. And we talked a little bit about the highest points. The winner has highest points. On a tie, most diamonds. On a tie, least bones. If it's still a tie in the end, it's still a tie. There's a number of features here that I added. I sort of like to give myself a to-do list when I create programs. And there's a few bugs that I fixed. I have already declared a winner, so that's now a feature. And I get to add sound, UI, etc. So let's play around. So here you can select the 2 players, 3 or 4. Let me just give you the audio. Audio over capture, yeah. Okay, you should hear sounds now. So I just recorded my own sounds, rolling dice and stuff. So the brown area is sort of the interaction area. So I give things drop shadows and make them sort of look like buttons you can click on. If you have the white background in this ship's wheel, that's whose turn it is, so it's Blue's turn. And here are the current rolled dice. So there's swords, there's gold, there's diamonds, and there's keys. So what you need is to have keys to unlock these chests. The swords are wild cards. And you can unlock as many chests as you want. But when you're out of dice, you're out of dice. You gotta pass the turn. So here we have a sword and a gold coin. What we can do is steal the other guy's treasure. Now if he has more than one, we can flip through here. So he's already under attack, so if he had another treasure we wanted to steal, it wouldn't cost us an extra sword. But we're going to unlock a chest. Now, it doesn't show you how many points each person has at the moment. It's sort of like a hidden thing. So I can't do anything with this one gold coin, but I can re-roll. And this sword gives me enough to be a key. Here we got a fish, so it's nothing. And it's one of sort of the bad things if it's a very tied game. So I can unlock another chest. So here we have several chests already unlocked. There's lots of swords here, so I can steal. Yeah, a single one I can steal that, but I can unlock this. That under attack thing goes away next turn. So I don't have any single diamonds, there's no single keys. So that. So there, the sword was a wild card for gold coin. There we go. So we'll just power through here. So down here we have a draw pile. It just disappears when there's no more left. It doesn't give you a count of how many are there. So this guy can... No, I can't steal anything. Another fish bones. So here the draw pile's done, and there's only 2 chests showing. So when we unlock the last chest, everyone gets 1 more turn. So I have a lot of treasure in front of me that I haven't brought into the ship yet. So now everyone just gets 1 more turn. So here is the end of the game. The score comes up. It's broken down. I have displays for each sort of thing. So it says the winner is player 2, has the most points. So player 2 has 13 points in total. And then it breaks it down into diamonds and then how many bones they have. So player 1 had all the fish bones. And then you can restart the game and play again. You can choose 3 or 4 players. Here's how it looks with 4 players. It's very similar, there's just more ships. Yeah, so that's the gameplay part. The cool thing about Scratch is you can see inside anyone's code, but it's this one I made. So most of the logic is in the backdrop, and the backdrop is, so in Scratch you got sprites, these little things that you can interact with, and then the backdrop. So the backdrop has a code. The game has lots of different variables, and there's special kind of variables called lists, and then there's custom blocks down here. These are the blocks that I've made. So they're functions. They don't return anything, but they can take input. So this one here, we bubble up the location. So this is the chests, and it's the draw pile. It's taking from the top of the draw pile. And it's making sure the top is always the top. Here, this one is figuring out who the next player is. This one is sorting the chests randomly. So it moves it from one list to another in a random order. So the order in the list. So if we want to see these variables, we can. So we can click here and we can see our chests. So our chests are pretty static throughout the game. After that initial random sort, the chests stay the same. And in fact, they all stay in the same order. But they get assigned different numbers here. So the numbers mean different things. So the first digit is diamonds, how many diamonds is on the chest. The second digit is gold. Oh, sorry. The first digit is how many keys. That's right. Second digit is how many diamonds. Third digit is gold. Fourth digit is fish. The fifth digit is the player, the phase that the chest is in. The last digit is the player, and then these two near the last ones are the order it goes in. So it's a little bit odd, but in Scratch, you don't have a thing like an object where you can call different functions and get properties back. So I treat each number in the column, like a fixed digit, as a property of a chest object. But what that allows me to do is write code to handle them individually. And you'll see, I'll show you some code where if you have individual variables, the code can get quite verbose. There's a lot of extra coding done. And I did that on the score because I wanted to show each score variable, and showing Scratch variables is pretty easy. Adding sort of text and font and formatting is a little bit difficult. So here we are picking the chests to show out of the draw pile. Here, I'll hide the chest now. So it picks 3 chests, and on the beginning of a player's turn, it always fills it back up to 3. Setting a location is those digits we had in the chest list. So the last second and third digits here are the location index, the order location. The location is for that. So 2 here is in front of a ship, 3 is cached in, 1 is unlocked, 0 is in the draw pile. Here in the code, I lay out what things are with some comments. So this is you roll a dice. These are what the values mean. Here is a function to roll the rest of the dice. So if a dice is used already, it won't roll that one, but it'll roll the rest. Here we spend dice. So we spend a dice unlocking a chest, or bringing treasure on board, or attacking a player. This checks to see if a user can spend their dice on something. It's a validation check. So let's say you click on something, and if you have enough or not, it'll take action. And it also, there's logic here because it spends the dice in a certain order. So it won't spend your wild card swords first. So if you have a diamond and you want a diamond, it'll spend the diamond first. If you have a key, it'll spend the key before it spends the sword, because the sword is more useful than all the other ones, because it can be anything for later. There might be some rules that I haven't quite implemented right, but it makes the game a little more awkward. It's like they want you to spend all your dice at the same time and set dice aside, but I didn't do that. I allowed you to sort of do different things. So if you read the rules of the original game, it's like you can't unlock a chest and then cash in the loot, but I made that happen. This is seeing how many dice you spent on a certain chest. This is checking for an end of game state, so if all the chests are open. So if the letter 5, see, we'd be having to check certain variables and stuff, but here it's just looking in the chest list and using this code. If the letter 5 is greater than 2, so it's 0, 1, 2. Then all the chests are open. But if it's, sorry, this is less than 2, sorry. So if it's here or here, then it's not open. And then there's plenty more code if we scroll to the right. So this is for the next button here for flipping through the chests that a player has. Here, that one has some chests. Sorry, the code, when you focus on a sprite, it sort of changes to that sprite for the code. This is the sound it makes when you unlock a chest. It triggers some sound in here. This is to see if a sword's on a player, so if you attack another ship, it shows the sword here. It uses one of your sword dice, but then you can take something from them. But if you have more dice to spend, you can take some again without spending another sword. It's pretty busy in here with the code. So here it's moving the chest along to the next phase. So if it's unlocked or moving onto a ship or stolen from another player, this is the code that performs that action. It spends your dice. It moves the chest along. It's pretty integral. This one here, this very long one here, is getting the winners. So at the end, it's calculating all the scores. So it's going through that list of chests, and if it's on the third state, is under your ship, you scored it, then it counts towards your points. So it's summing up your points, your diamonds, the bones you have, and then depending on how many players are playing, it's determining which scores to show. And then down at the bottom, it's calculating the winners. And so get that code to pop up. So it's figuring out who has the most points, and if there's more than one with the most points, then who has the most diamonds if there's more than one, and then the least bones, which is this last section here, the least bones. We looked at that code already. Spend dice on chest, so this takes the dice. When I receive chest unlocked, so there's triggers that come into here from the UI, what the user's trying to do, and that's what these broadcasts are. So if we look at this lock chest, it has some interaction stuff. So yes, this is UI lock selected. So it broadcasts it, so it gets clicked on, but What does that mean? Does you have enough keys? So, no, I don't have enough keys at the moment, so nothing's going to happen. But the code in the backdrop decides that. Sprite is pretty dumb. It doesn't hold any information. It just gets created. It gets put in a location. And it knows which costume to display. So it has keys. It also has the other values of it that it passes along when it moves to the next phase. So here we have the next key to cycle through here. It sends us message here to the background code. Here's the deck. It just chooses when to hide, but it also shows you what card is coming up next. So the next one coming up has 2 keys. You can always see the top of the deck. Here's the dice. This handle's getting clicked on. Earlier I clicked on the dice and then clicked on the thing I wanted to spend it on, and I realized that the UI would be, would be smoother by just clicking on the chests. And here are the unlocked chests, and you can look at these costumes here. There's a number of them. Their names are actually important. I construct their names, their costume names, based on what their components are. So here we go. The costume joining all these letters together. Diamonds, gold, how many bones. We'll determine which costume to display. So the values are in the chest to that costume. Nothing really happens to the players. You just show as many as are playing. Background, it highlights depending on whose turn it is. Pass, just broadcasts that it gets clicked. Reroll, same thing. But if you re-rolled already, it hides. Number of players, it shows the number of players you clicked on, getting the game started. Restarts the game after you finish. The ship's wheel shows whose turn it is. I got some feedback on not this white background being a little bit confusing as to whose turn it is. And swords show up beside someone if they're under attack. Yeah, that's it. Any feedback would be great. You can remix it if you want. Thank you.